Hey guys, RC here. Welcome back to another video edition of Skyrim. If I can get my on-screen cursor to disappear, bear with me. This is a new build that I have been working on, and well, let's see if we can just start it up from scratch here. Let's see. Alright, it's synced. Sometimes just getting rid of that cursor is the worst thing in the world. I've tried several things that I've read about, but without success. So anyway, this is I'm in the early going of a second playthrough on this build. I was looking at one of the posts on the Tamriel vaults before they moved to their new site. And they were talking about playing as basically real-world, everyday characters. A fisherman, a shopkeeper, things of that nature. And that got me, I know in the early days of character building for the Tamriel vaults, there were a lot of glitches that were present in the game that people were able to exploit and come up with some really, really unique and cool ideas. And those builds are great, and those are certainly the standard that any builder today tries to live up to as best they can. But at the end of the day, we make builds, those of us that are still doing them and still playing the game, we do it because we like the game, and we're looking to have fun. And we enjoy what we're playing. So this was a little different. A lot of my more recent builds have been very heavy into role play. This one, I guess, is not really a role play-y type to me. Again, it's just trying to play as an everyday character. And in this case, I used a mod called Live Another Life, where you can start with an alternate start. And I started as a Nord character, so there's me. You can see he's an older gentleman, a little haggard, missing an eye. He's been through the wars. But at the end of the day, he is a miner. He worked in the mines. And my thinking here is that I was looking through some of the mines in the game, and there's a mine called the Lost Prospector Mine, and it's north of Blackbriar Lodge near Ripton. And so my thinking was that kind of got me thinking, the miner. So the name of the build, at least tentatively, is the Prospector. It is going to be a pick and shield build. We're only going to use picks. I think that will probably necessitate a companion of some sort for the playthrough. I'll have to see how it progresses. I did use a companion with the vanilla game, and then using the Live Another Life, I was able to choose an option as a Nord that we were friends with Eric the Slayer, or at least his father. And Eric, of course, if you remember him, he was a farmer, wanted to become an adventurer, so he has decided to tag along with us, at least here in the early going. We're in Bleak Falls Barrow. We have just cleared out the initial room up here. And my goal for the build is that basically we worked for the Blackbriars, for Maven. And we will be arrested and sent to Cidhna Mine at some point, obviously for some crime that we committed in Maven Blackbriar's name at some point. So one of the early goals is to get to Markarth and do the quest, the Forsworn Conspiracy, once we get there, and get put into the Cidhna Mines. And that will kind of get us started on the path that I foresee for this character. Once we escape and finish that quest, we'll return to Riften, basically through the graces of our benefactor Maven. She puts us into the Thieves Guild. We're basically too old to work the mines for a living anymore. But working with the Thieves Guild, we're looking for a way to kind of make an easy living for our retirement. but our ultimate goal is to accumulate, due to our being a miner for our entire life, we want to accumulate the greatest pickaxe collection in all of Tamriel. So because we're Nord, I thought that fit with Skyrim. We are actually going to use the carved Nordic armor. That'll be our armor set. We will not use any shouts whatsoever, so there is no Dragonborn in this. We will start the main quest just to unlock dragons, just for the additional challenge. But the goal is to get the notched pickaxe, Hoarfrost, the ancient Nordic pickaxe, and we will use enchanting and smithing. As the smithing to improve our weapons and our armor. I haven't decided how far into that I'm going to go. Still kind of working with the points a little bit at this point. But we will use enchanting because we will need to be able to enchant our pickaxes because they are not the best weapon in the world. And that's what I kind of want to see on this playthrough. That's the big test that I'm going for is, I kind of went with just basic enchanting without actually taking a lot of perk points. This time I'm going to kind of max it out and see what that does for me. And if it gives me more survivability, then of course we can get rid of our follower at some point. And I'm kind of using this one a little bit differently. Usually I kind of go in knowing exactly what perks that I want. I've kind of mapped that out. This time I have not done that. I'm just kind of taking it as it comes. Now, again, I still have some ideas. He is going to be a heavy armor build because of the carved Nordic armor. We are going to go one-handed in order to increase the damage for pickaxes. No archery. No sneaking. I think we are going to level up. In fact, I know we are going to have to level up pickpocket, and the reason is the coup de grace or the grand finale of our playthrough in putting our pickaxe collection together is the pickaxe named Rock Splitter, and you have to have misdirection and the Midas touch. Perfect touch. You have to have the top two skills in the tree here. So that's where the Thieves Guild comes into play. When you are doing the Thieves Guild quest, you will want to take every pickpocket quest that there is, and of course we will be pickpocketing an awful lot. So that's another reason I'm kind of looking at enchanting as well. Because I think then you can enchant some gear, rings, and a necklace with fortified pickpocket and help along those lines. So that's kind of the background of the character. So pickpocket, heavy armor, one-handed, and I'm thinking enchanting and then possibly smithing. It stands to reason somebody that works in a mine would be involved in smithing, so that certainly ties in. And I'm trying to make this more of a tie-in thing rather than, just kind of putting together for strength's sake. One thing he is not, he's a big lumbering Nord. So, there is no stealth or misdirection. As I said, no shouts, no ranged weaponry, just a shield and his pickaxe, because that's the only weapon that he knows how to use. So, that's kind of what we're dealing with. The one thing I have done is I have used some console commands. I do that in my playthroughs just to kind of get things rolling. I've picked up 100 level 1 soul gems. And we did buy a soul trap weapon that we disenchanted, and then we enchanted a weapon for Eric and gave him all the soul gems. So we're kind of letting him, even though we're in heavy armor, we're letting him take a little bit of the lead in getting a hit. He has a 4-second timer. And you know, it's just to try to pick up some easy soul gems for the enchanting while I'm leveling through. Let's see. And so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a preview for what I'm working on now. Like I said, I've already done one playthrough in one style. I am now going back and doing a second playthrough, modifying a few things that I didn't like or I want to tweak a little bit. And, you know, then that gives me some comparison, you know, to make some final decisions moving forward. And you can see I'm just level 6, so, you know, I haven't been playing this playthrough very long. Not used to those guys coming up so quick. Usually it's you're not that loud, but again, you know, you're just a big lumbering Nord, and you know, that is, you know, being stealthy is not your forte. So I don't think we're going to use any magic. You know, he's not incompetent by any stretch. I certainly don't think that Maven would interact with anybody that was a complete imbecile. You know, although she would certainly, you know, want some people that were more physical in action to, you know, to work for her. But building up your block, your one-handed, and, you know, of course, with a companion, it does make it a lot easier getting through here. And this is my first time. I know I've seen some builds with like forks and things of that nature. I guess I need to go back and actually look at some of those and see how they structured them. But you know, as I said, just, you know, he's basically a heavy armor guy. He's not out looking for anything in particular. He's just kind of in his retirement. And, you know, the goal is to eventually just put together a collection of pickaxes that oh, there was a nice shot. And, you know, you don't do a lot of damage with the pickaxe. Let's see, I can show you what my enchant is. I don't have any points in it right now, so I just put a health and stam enchant that I had found. 5 points. I mean, that's it here in the early going. And, you know, I am a little concerned about taking damage. But, you know, like I said, with the companion, once I get my shield up to snuff, I think that will alleviate a lot of damage. We will be using heavy armor, so getting to the defense cap should not be an issue. I am using RK here in the early going for the health bump, and the Lord Stone for damage resist from magic and armor rating increase. So that's the two items that I went with. Let's see if I can get my guy through here without getting killed. Maybe not. Good luck there, guy. And I do not play in this first person, you know, in third person here very, very often. Alright, teamwork. Get them from both sides. That's always a good plan. So anyway, I think my last build I put up just straight to character building. I think I am going to toss this one up when I get a little farther into this playthrough onto the workshop. You know, I've always been really happy dealing with the guys in the workshop. And trying to get some input from them. I think that'll be good for this build. But anyway, wanted just to kind of, like I said, just kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight to it, so you could see what was going on, what it was about, and you know, appreciate you taking a look. Whoa, hello. So still need to get in and take some screenshots and whatnot, but as you can see right now, I'm running a 2-to-1 health to stam increase. In fact, I just leveled up, didn't I? So we can take a level up. I'm due another point into health at this point, and that keeps me at my 2-to-1 spread. And heavy armor's not quite ready. One-handed, I've gotten everything I can get there right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and start pickpocketing right now, because that'll be coming up pretty quickly, and I need to start doing the pickpocketing because that seems to take the longest to level up. So anyway, if you have any thoughts on the build, any ideas or suggestions, chime in below on the video, and we certainly appreciate you taking a look at the Prospector. Again, that's the working title. I've gone through a couple of ideas, so I think that's what we're going to go with. And you know, I think it's going to be an interesting playthrough, something I haven't done weapon-wise before for sure. You know, and I guess you could even go with light armor, but you know, being that, you know, I thought being a Nord would be a great tie-in for this character. You know, he's native to Skyrim. You know, he works in the mine, so it would stand to reason he would be a Nord character. And you know, going from there, I thought would be, you know, the right tact. And you know, being a Nord, I think you know, just seems, you know, the Nordic carved armor just seemed to be the right choice. And it's not going all the way up to ebony or dragon bone or anything like that. So you know, it's one of those, you know, choices that I thought made sense, so I went with it. So being that he is turning into a thief, you know, he will be doing some lock picking. I guess there would be some possibility for points there, as you can see, and I think I mentioned in my last build video, I hate lock picking. I don't like the lock picking game, so I do use a mod. I figure any thief worth his salt would know how to lock pick, and that would be a non-issue. So that's how I play that. I always kind of save a couple of times because I do get crashes every once in a while, but also in spots that I've been through 100 times that I know are extremely difficult. And that's actually working out pretty well, where he's going up with that two-handed for a power attack. You're able to interrupt that and then stun him just a little bit with your shield bash. What I am thinking of a couple of shields that would lead in. The Nordic, of course, would be part of the set. The ethereal shield, where if we decide to go without a companion, that would be very helpful because a bash would actually turn your opponent ethereal. So if you were fighting more than one character, you could basically take one of them out of the equation for a minute. I don't know the duration of that. I'd have to look that up. But that's when I saw that, I was thinking, wow, that would be a good crowd control. And then what else was I looking at there? Spellbreaker would be another one, and then Tarja the Blooded would be another one that would make a lot of sense, and especially with the bleed effect, I thought would come in a lot of handy during a playthrough. So I'm going to let him, and hopefully he doesn't die while I come get that. Oh, he came back to me. Good. All right. Kill animation. Always good. Always good when it's you and not them. Or when it's them and not you. Scratch that, reverse it. Let's see. So I wanted to kind of get to the last guy just so we could see how we fared here. We should be getting close. I think this is the last room. We have to open the door here. Oh, wait. I think it was 2 each if I remember from previous playthroughs. I didn't look at the claw this time, so I hope that's right. I'll be embarrassed. Alright, we're good. We're golden there. My last build was the Black Dahlia, and I made use of vegetable soup. I use that with a lot of my melee characters because of the stamina regeneration, which does come in handy in combat. And that's a trick that I just found out. Instead of coming up and hitting E to mine, you can actually attack it, and it takes out the entire ore in one hit. I had never known you could do that, so hopefully that may be something that the rest of you guys can use in future plays if you were unaware of it as well. I am level 6, so we're still looking to better our gear and, always find better stuff, and so we will hit every locked chest and everything that we can get. Alright. And now we will come and face. Alright, and I do save. I typically save before all boss fights. I don't take pride in dying. Again, we'll take the word walls, but we will not have shouts. So, that's not anything I am worried about. And also, one other thing, I'm not going to use alchemy, but I am going to, I don't think you have to be a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to pick up any poison that you find. Oh, that went pretty easy. Shield bash for the win. Alright, I'd like to use that, but it's not a pickaxe, so we cannot. And let's zoom in. There it is. Sometimes in that third person I can't see, but that's okay. I would like to use some of those orcish axes. I think those would be great weapons, but it's not a pickaxe, so it is what it is. That's the limitation of the build, kind of a house rule, if you will. And that's the end of this dungeon. So anyway, interested to see what you might think. Thanks for taking a look at this, and we will see you down the road. Thanks a lot.